community, commissioners. Tonight's going to give our initial update. It is September, so there's not much to report on, but we are continuing to track attendance rates, and I'll share some other data points this evening. Opening schools off to a great start. We had a number of teachers trained this summer, about 12,000 hours of PD, and you could really see it manifest itself on opening day. Teaching was at an all-time high. There's a lot of clear curriculum and curricular expectations, and I couldn't have been prouder of the way we started the school year this year. We did a brief survey with our governance councils, both from the upper school and lower school, to determine how we started off, and it's a very open and honest and frank conversation. The number one criticism still is food. But some of the things they talked about being going well is the hallway behavior and classroom behavior and parent participation. So we really thank all the folks back at East who worked diligently this summer to engage themselves in work, but also the community. The next two slides, I'm not going to go through the whole. This is for the board to kind of chew on in their own time. These are just two attendance slides. One's from 2015 and one's from 2016. It breaks down the average daily attendance by grade level for the first 3 weeks of school. I will say, and I'm sure that others will agree, the average daily attendance doesn't give us a ton of data. It doesn't account for which kids come to class third period every day. It doesn't account for period by period attendance, but it is a good starting point for us in terms of determining and deciding how our students are doing and some patterns. One pattern that we're happy to see is that the number of students who did not show up last year decreased by almost 2/3. So students came back. 99% of our freshmen are back this year, and so we didn't lose a ton of kids last year between the grade levels. So we're really happy about that. I think we see that as a point of pride. Some of our attendance monitoring intervention plans that we put in place and revised this summer are listed there, including having our carents. Again, the carents are the individuals doing family group. For each 10 students, there's an adult responsible for meeting with them 30 minutes a day. It is a part of the student schedule, and the carent is a play on the word caring parent. And so we have individuals like myself calling home. We definitely are doing home visits, but we've gotten a lot of work from having our counselors and social workers and family group carents reach out directly to parents and families. We've gotten a big bang for our buck there. And then the chart on the top is just the overall attendance from year to year. You'll see 2015 to 2016 comparisons. And again, we are making some gains, mostly at the upper school, proud of the number of 9th through 12th graders who are attending regularly. A lot of work to do. I'm not claiming victory. It's a lot of work to do in attendance, but students are definitely stepping up, and the adults are reaching out. Coming up soon, we have the state report on our improvement indicators from the state, our demonstrable improvement. We met with our principals. We met with our FACE team. It's a family and community engagement team made up of parents, teachers, staff, community, and we are submitting our results and letters to the state, and our determination will be September 29th, so we'll know more at that time how the state moves forward. We've been given preliminary word that we're in good shape moving forward. Also, one of the things that we are deeply engaged in, I think most of you know this, is our collective impact and trying to create a community-wide, that East becomes more about the community and less about just a school, and preparing kids for life well beyond high school, and also engaging them within their own community. And this is, I recently traveled down to Atlanta with Mayor Warren and others to see a purpose-built community, a community that has an emphasis on economic development, mixed income housing, as well as education. And that was a really great opportunity to see how a community came together to support the work of that community. And this is being partly supported by Connected Communities, as well as the Rochester Anti-Poverty Initiative. Lorna, who's sitting in the audience, will be heading down to Birmingham to see another example of Connected Communities, to see how we can strengthen our relationship with the local colleges, local businesses, to make schooling take a holistic approach on schooling. And that concludes my report.
All right. Sean, I happen to see you on Need to Know.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? By the way, if anybody wants to see that segment, it is on, thanks to Anne Marie and Chip and a whole bunch of others, Tom and others, Todd. It's on the school app, which is not live for everybody, right. But you could, if you wanted to, right?
Yes.
A person could get on the App Store, right? I probably shouldn't be saying that, but it's
I'll
true.
I'll learn to not say anything.
It's true. I look at Anne Marie's like throwing daggers at me, but you can see that on Facebook, if not on Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah,
He did a good job. Any other questions for Sean?
I'm just going to try to ring in my president.
That's very tough.
Ring in my president.
And I just want to also mention, so we have 3 resolutions tonight. We have 2 that are dated prior to tonight. I know that's been a question, but those are 2 adults who transferred from other city schools, so those are, they continue. And then the one other one who started yesterday, we're proud to say, is a former student, last year senior, who was hired to work in the visionary care through a grant. And she was a student who worked her way through the vision optics CTE track. We were able to hire her as a paraprofessional as she takes classes, I think, at MCC. So very proud of that young lady. She was there today, smiling and doing the job. So, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nelms.